We don't need no Mike's Daily
Oh. Mike's Daily Podcast.
We do need Mike's Daily Podcast. It's episode 2133.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
2133. Hi, it's Mike Matthews. I got woken up early because someone at my work decided to be squirrely and not show up. And that made my life take a weird turn. And now I'm going to go to sleep tonight very early because I'm very tired. Oh, look.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I see the Altamont windmills, and they're turning. Mike's Daily Podcast
Daily
is the show you're listening to.
Podcast.
That's right. And
yeah.
So did you hear that our president had his oxygen was in the high 90s? Apparently, this is what the doctor said today when they came out in their nice white lab coats and gave us an update. They said late Friday morning, when I returned to the bedside, the president had a high fever and his oxygen saturation was transiently dipping below 94%. Given these two developments, I was concerned for possible rapid progression of the illness. I recommended the president would try supplemental oxygen, see how he would respond. He was fairly adamant that he didn't need it. I don't need your oxygen. I'm dead. Yes, President, don't go and kill yourself, really. If we like you or don't like you, that's not the point. The point is you're the president of the United States. We kind of don't want you to die right at this second. He was not short of breath. He was tired, had the fever. That was about it. After about a minute, on only 2 liters, his saturation levels were over 95%. He stayed on that for about an hour. And there you go.
And here's today's podcast picture.
What? We have a podcast picture? Yes, we do. Let's get to that, shall we? Because that's what this show is about, is podcast pictures and Mike Matthews giving the health of the president. And let's see. Oh, I was in Niles. I posted a picture from that the other day, which actually I was over in the spot where about a year ago during Dia de los Muertos, November 1st, usually that falls on, but Niles celebrates it usually a couple days after. And Basil the boxer was there. Oh, the late great Basil was there, and we saw some Aztec performers and dancers dance and do sort of a tribal thing with smoke and dancing, and it was amazing. And then Basil saw where I worked in Fremont. He had never been there to Fremont, and it was the one and only time he went. And that was in Niles. So should I post a picture from Niles? There is an interesting picture here that I saw. Spread your wings and fly. There was this mural on the sidewalk there. I like that one. Or what about this one here, which Niles, by the way, is. Oh, there's this cute one with a dog paw, and it looks like a heart. Maybe we'll use that one. See it at mikesdailypodcast.com. I haven't decided yet. I have decided, though, that I'm done with the story about the president, except that the last thing they gave here, the Trump doctors said that the president has continued to improve. And so there you go. We review and debate every finding compared to existing science and literature, weighing the risks and benefits of every intervention, the timing as well as impacts a delay may have. Okay. On with the show. By the way, looking at my weekly statistics, I see on Spreaker, if you listen to the show on Spreaker.com, that I am down 14 downloads from last week. What the heck? What's going on? Why aren't you people listening? Where'd my 14 people go? But that's neither here nor there. There are lots of places, I guess, to listen to this. I am now, for example, a YouTube Music premium member, I guess, for the next 10 more days. They give you a free They're offering. They used to offer a free premium membership, but you had to give them your credit card. Now they're just giving it away. You don't have to give your credit card. They beg for it, of course, over and over again. But I'm checking out the YouTube music, and they're trying to be like Spotify. And then they say you can download the songs, and I download the songs, but then I don't see them anywhere. And it turns out they're not actually downloaded. They're a smart download, which means the data is in your phone and can only be played through the YouTube Music app. Now, what's going to happen after my premium membership time is over? I will let you know, but I have a feeling it's just going to disappear. That's sad, isn't it? So we had Eric Swalwell, what he had to say lately about a COVID-19 relief bill we talked about last show. And I talked about that interesting Michael Medved commentary. But it's an interesting time. What is the prognosis for Melania? We're hearing all about Trump. What about Melania? Well, I don't have that information at my hands. I guess I do. It's called the internet. Should I? Okay. How's Melania doing? Let's try that search. Nope, nothing. Just only about the president. And that Biden isn't positive. He's negative. Well, what shall we say about the Slovenian American former model? We'll just have to look a little bit more here, and this is exciting podcasting, I know, but there is really people are praying for her. Okay, that's about it. They're keeping it pretty. I mean, I'm looking down the list here, and I'm not finding anything just about the president. So, jeez, that's kind of sexist. Anyway, Cafe Anyway. Yes. So. What else is happening there in the world of Cafe Anyway? And I still do not have an answer as to why Skype has not come up with a new ringtone and something that actually loops and doesn't stop. Gosh, it's annoying. So people on the right are criticizing Chris Wallace like crazy. Yeah, Chris Wallace is from Fox News. Does anyone remember that part? On the right side. Oh my gosh, I heard this as we go outside a cafe anyway. We're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley 10. I heard a right-wing talk show host just lambasting Chris Wallace. It's like, dude, okay, you're a right-wing commentator. You are not a journalist. You have nothing to do. You might be on a news station, but you have nothing to do with news or journalism. Chris Wallace is asking questions that people want to know. And he gets criticized, and he's from Fox News even. So you would think he would get a little bit of a carte blanche with that, a little excuse note. So, my lovely lady friend is somewhere outside a cafe anyway. I'm waving to her now. She, when she sneezes, when my lovely lady friend sneezes, she stomps her foot. Like a big bam when she sneezes. And I asked her, why does she do that? Why does she add to the sneeze by stomping her foot? And she says, I can't help it. It helps me let it out. Is if I stomp my foot on the ground. And I go, it's like the sneeze is making you dance. Do sneezes make you dance? When I sneeze, I just try and get through it because I sneezes incapacitate me. I can't do a dance. I can't stomp my foot. I can't do complex math problems. I can't do anything. I can't come up with a joke about sneezing while I'm sneezing or even after I'm sneezing. Just the thing about sneezing. Basil the boxer used to make the coolest sneezes. Boxers have a sneeze. They do it when they get all flustered and ready to play. They sneeze a lot, kind of like a boxer that you saw in the old days going, right, doing that kind of thing. That's what the dog's boxers do. It's pretty cool. Check that out. By the way, all this smoke in the air, it really reminds me of how my mom's house smells. And it makes me feel like I'm home. No, it really, my mom needs to quit smoking. I mean, she's in her 80s now and she's still smoking. That's crazy. That's nuts. That's a doctor's nightmare. Trump's doctors would be, she needs more oxygen. What the heck? But my mom is like Trump, and she does like Trump, but you know, she doesn't need oxygen. She's like, I don't need oxygen. Send that oxygen away. No oxygen for me, thank you. But yeah, that's how my mom's house smells. Lots of smoke because she smokes. And so now today, however, is much clearer. As I look out, I'm looking out from Podcastro Valley 10 today, out towards Mount Diablo. I can actually see Mount Diablo. I can see across to the mountains above Dublin and everything. It's clear. It's clearer, I think, because we got a nice breeze happening. So let's keep that up. I hear we're going to get some rain here in the Bay Area, which is cool. I heard a talk show host talk about the insanity involved with the whole coronavirus, and that he saw someone jogging with a face mask on. And this is what he said. He said, that's a person who's scared, and when I see someone that's scared, it makes me scared. So he was saying about trying to be, what is it? Well, let me know what you think about this. About we're being protective, we're being cautious, we're wearing face masks, unlike the president was on that helicopter with Hope Hicks, and that's how he got it. And we're being cautious, so we're wearing the face masks. But some people see the face masks and are like, and think that there's a level of hysteria. I think there is probably a little bit going on. It is something that, I mean, you can't say the word pandemic and not freak out a little bit. So we just got to try and keep our freak outedness in check. And we're going to get through this. And as Mr. The British guy, the Prime Minister guy, Winston Churchill said, if you're going through hell, keep on going. Stay strong, carry on that whole thing. And England went through a heck of a lot in World War II, as we all know. So, and finally, one other teeny weeny thing. There's this thing that I heard a singer say. Oh yes, it was a female artist, and this is. So I gave up my dreams of becoming a singer-songwriter years ago. In fact, I was watching John Prine last night. He passed away. But in 2017, he did a show. Hardly Strictly Bluegrass Festival is happening in I wanted to say Central Park. What city am I in? San Francisco. That'd be Golden Gate Park. Right. That other famous, that New York's got Central Park. San Francisco has Golden Gate Park. Beautiful big park. Which park do you prefer? You can call me 336MM Daily. I've been to both. I've been to the Golden Gate Park many times. New York's Central Park only once. But yes, so they have this fantastic festival at Golden Gate Park called the Hardly Strictly Bluegrass Festival. And because of the coronavirus, people can't go to it in person. They can watch it online. And they've got this, as of this recording, they've got a YouTube channel happening. And we were watching it at about 10 o'clock at night. They replayed when John Prine was on the stage. John Prine, I can't really tell you, he didn't have any big pop songs. Bonnie Raitt covered one of his songs called Angel of Montgomery. Make me an angel that flies to Montgomery. And he had, he was quite old when he did this concert, 2017. But he sounded amazing. And it looked like he had a stroke. And it was hard for him to hold his head up. But his voice was amazing. He still sounded fantastic. And he had two other performers with him. Oh, yeah, he died this year. Oh, my gosh, April 7th. He was only 73. Wow. And he had on stage with him three really great performers, a guy playing mandolin, another guy on electric guitar, and another guy on an upright bass. Just wow. So that was cool to see. So what this female artist was saying from Canada was that people do not realize if you're trying to become a pop star or you know, a money-making recording artist, the recording industry puts so much pressure on the female artists to sell cosmetics. Yes, they want, oh, you can write a song, that's great, but let's take a look at you. Let's see if you could sell makeup products. Like, do you have that look that we can that's what this female artist was saying. And she said that this is not something that male artists have to deal with. It's ridiculous. And I believe she's probably right. There's also all kinds of sexism still happening in the music industry and entertainment industry. So I found that fascinating. This was on a show, I think from Canada. Gosh, I'm consuming so much Canadian content these days between watching Schitt's Creek. Tried to make it somewhat passable by the FCC, even though they don't really monitor me. And listening to this radio interview show they do on the CBC. Just good stuff. You hear a lot of interesting insights that you don't hear on the American side of media, which that's interesting, isn't it? Okay, look who's outside a cafe anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valleyton, the last place on earth. Hello, Mike Matthews, it's Chely Shoehart, gift shop supervisor. I sell a lot of makeup products in the gift shop. Oh, cool. People buy that stuff, huh? Yes, Mike Matthews, who's John Prine? John Prine, he's saying he wrote a lot of cool songs. Uh-huh. He was great. Okay, Mike Matthews. Yeah, watch the Harley Strictly Bluegrass Festival. It's on right now. I'm going to turn it on right after I'm done with this podcast. Look who else is here. Hello, Mike. This is Floyd the Floorman. And this is John Deere, the engineer. Mike, whenever I sneeze, my eyeballs fly out of my head. That's impossible. That way you'd die if that happened. Wouldn't? I don't know. Okay, next show it'll be the wonderful Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, and the Brewmaster. Gesundheit ahead of time for all of you who are about to sneeze, and thank you for listening. Tell me what you think. 336mm daily. 3 + 3 = 6. as in Mike Matthews. Daily as in what this podcast tries to be.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!